We're here to check out some of the new live-action hotness coming out, and we'll tell you if they're going to be faithful adaptations or sad flops. I'm looking at you, Attack on Titan's live action.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Yeah!
What's up?
You hyped? You hyped? 2017! Here we go!
Lights are going on.
Here we go! Here we go! Here we go! Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for watching the Mighty
Hi.
Otaku. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and comment on iTunes. Hit that thumbs up on YouTube and follow us at the Popcorn Talk on Twitter. And today we are talking about 2017 live-action anime adaptation movies, and that is a mouthful. And today we have Greg with us today.
Greg! Hey, Ned!
You guys remember, he's definitely been in shows before. Where can they find you, Greg?
You can find me at tuneintokyo.club.com.
TuneInTokyoClub.com.
And of course, we have our usual host.
Usual. Who, me? This one?
Usual-ish. Yeah,
hot.
let's start
Fine,
from the left.
me. I am not
me.
Chubby Bunny Michelle, who usually sits in
Knock
the
it
seat.
off. Knock it off, dumb bitch.
I'm Yume Warlock. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Yume Warlock.
I am Chubby Bunny Michelle. You can find me everywhere on the internet at I am Chubby Bunny, like Instagram and Twitter and Twitch.
And I am your host for today, Maxwell Song. You can find me at Max Salts on everything. Instagram, Twitter,
On it.
on the moon,
On
you know,
the moon.
all those things.
On.
So,
Man.
today we're just gonna, talk about
We're just gonna
all these
get-
really great live-action movies.
Great.
Some
Are
of them
you
look
done?
great. Some
Are
of them
you
look
done?
great. What? Some of them look actually good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. There's a lot. I was
a lot.
actually super surprised. The reason I came up with this topic is because what was it called? Was Fullmetal Alchemist.
Uh-huh.
You know, they started bringing out all these trailers, and everyone's like, I wonder if it's gonna be good or not.
It looks
I don't know.
so
It's
questionable.
Yeah, you're
we'll
like,
get there.
oh, I don't know.
We'll get there.
But in the YouTube sidebar, there was 12 more live-action movies that I had heard nothing about.
Oh.
Nothing about
Thanks,
it.
YouTube, for
And-
telling us about that.
Yeah.
That sidebar, though.
Yeah, so through the recommendations, I was able to kind of pick out, I guess, about
Several.
Yay.
7-ish.
Oh, real quick in chat. Sorry, I'm totally interrupting. Jonathan Peck, welcome for your first time watching Mighty Otaku.
Hey.
We apologize in advance. We swear a lot.
Yeah, we do.
Jason's movie channel. Hi.
Lauren
and
Marklin, see that you're back in here.
Laura Marklin,
Yeah.
here she is today.
We talk about anime shit. And that's not what our
Yeah.
show is about. The end. Boom. Sorry, keep going. Talking about anime movies.
So
Live action movies.
we're just gonna go over some I guess the big chunky ones, you know, like the ones that we feel.
That chunk dough.
Yeah, the really chunky,
Chunk.
the nice meaty kind.
Are we
You know,
going
we're
in
gonna talk
order?
about some JoJo. We're gonna talk about Ajin. We're gonna talk about Gintama. We're gonna talk about Tokyo Ghoul,
Yeah.
Blade of the Immortal,
Yeah.
and of course,
Not
Fullmetal.
in that order. Don't get excited, kids.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
that information was for our engineer so that he knows we're not going out of order.
exactly. So let's start off with the first one, which
you-
is Ajin,
yeah.
the Demi-Human. We're gonna try to show you one of the teasers, and some of the trailers might interrupt it. We don't know.
Ajin, yeah.
But let's roll the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
We're-
excited about.
yep.
So real quick, Ajin, the Demi-Human.
Demi.
Demi-Human.
Wait,
Yeah.
what am I saying?
Demi.
It's Demi. You said Demi. It's Demi.
Is that wrong?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wrong. Because Demi-Human's a real thing.
So every once in a while, I stumble upon a word in the English language that I'm fucking not saying right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're like, ooh. Okay.
All right.
All right, let's do
Let's
it.
roll Ajin.
Aruhi. Nah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the final countdown down.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
What are we watching? What's happening?
I was gonna say that's
What's
not the music I
happening?
remember.
Anybody watching, we apologize. We are witnessing art happening. There it goes.
There we go.
I like this
Words.
music. Libu.
Wow, this music.
Yeah, this teaser is
This
not
music.
great.
Yeah.
Not great.
A lot of words happening. Those are
Yeah.
the names of all the actors.
That's what I
they're throwing.
assumed.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a lot of kanji being
Uh-huh.
thrown up there.
Yeah.
And then they're like, Ajin. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was a teaser. What do you think, guys?
So we should
Wait.
talk about Ajin,
Yes.
this series.
Okay.
Let's talk about Ajin because I've never actually seen Ajin.
All right, a brief description of Ajin. Basically, there are people that are immortal.
Uh-huh.
And
Is
you
it like
know,
Unbreakable?
No, it's not like Unbreakable because I think if you break him, he dies forever. It's if you die, that's how you find out that people are Ajin or not. And then they have these sort of like these ghost psyche things that are invisible to everyone else. They're called BM somethings. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
BM.
There's something. Anyway, the point is like all humans take these Ajin and then they do horrible experiments on them because they are immortal and they're sort of like the next evolution of mankind. So there have been a long running manga series, and then from that 2 movies have come out already, 2 3D movies, and then there's a Netflix series that you might have seen, which is a Netflix original.
Oof, it
quote
is.
unquote.
It's definitely not
Netflix
an original.
And it's a little rough on the CG.
It is a little rough on the CG. I think it's like the 3D movies weren't bad. The problem was that when you get it into a series, it becomes way cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just because then you have to make episodes. But for the people that have seen it on the panel, like what did you guys think about it?
Okay, so real quick, the anime was like CG hell. I couldn't even like look at it. But the concept I thought was really interesting. I read the wiki. I haven't read the manga. But what I'm excited about is Takeru Sato, who is the lead, who was Kenshin in the live-action Kenshin
yes, he
movies.
was.
So everything he's in is gold to me. So I don't give a shit. This movie's probably gonna be awesome because he's
this
so
movie
good.
could be on
He's
the
so
Kenshin live-action
good.
levels.
Yeah, he as an actor is just like my favorite thing.
Okay, so the teaser's like, bad, whatever. But like the thing about this movie is that it has a relatively grounded premise. There isn't like
They're
anime
humans,
hair you have to deal with. There's no magic
Oh my
really.
gosh, anime hair.
Yeah,
With no bad CG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's definitely gonna be bad
Definitely bad
CG,
CG.
for sure.
What's the were there spooky black cloud people, or is that?
Yeah, they didn't show it in the teaser, but
Okay.
that's a part of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I was watching the trailer for the.
I think they were more
anime.
focused on the electronic
Human.
blaring music.
Yeah. It's like, how are you gonna introduce these people? It's like through dubstep. Dubstep's the
Yeah,
best
that's
way.
the right kind of
It
music.
felt like they needed like just a long, like in Darude Sandstorm, he's just like running to the music. That's what I feel like that trailer should have been.
Yeah.
I thought the visual style looked pretty strong. I think
Yeah.
In trailer,
the,
yeah.
the CG anime, say what you will about using 2D, 3D stuff, it has sort of a nice, sort of really cool dark look to it, and it seems like the movie kind of is capturing that. It's like highly stylized. I
Yeah.
think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess you're right that it makes me feel the characters are dead inside because they have no emotions and their eyes are like, I'm excited, I'm sad.
Well, at least
isn't that-
hopefully these guys will have a little bit more emotion
Yeah,
than that.
I
But
was
then I've
gonna
also seen a
say-
lot of Japanese live action movies, and sometimes
Where they're all
dead.
dead eyes.
They're
Yeah,
They
dead
have like
yes.
the emotional range of like cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't the main character supposed to be like that though? Like, isn't he written to be like, I don't have emotions and?
Yeah, I just feel it's more like he's really cold and he's stoic, but he's not necessarily emotionless, which you start finding out later in the series. But like,
Surprise!
that's not really
a young boy has feelings.
Let's hope that
Yeah.
he walks exactly like Scarlett Johansson and goes to the show.
Oh,
We should
I
all
don't-
walk like that.
Yeah.
That walk.
That walk. It's like, oh
Lumbering
god.
about.
Yeah. So it looks, for what I've seen thus far, it looks like it could be pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, because the whole part of the action is like, because they're immortal, they don't care about being shot, they don't care about shooting themselves. They have like all these weird teleportation rules and stuff. So it seems like a more grounded sci-fi.
More about like, what is life?
Yeah.
And this movie's out when?
This movie is out September 30th, 2017.
Oh, it's like
Oh.
almost your
So,
birthday.
yeah.
Happy birthday
After
in
my
September.
All right.
Here's some Ajin. All right, next.
So
Who
wait,
cares about this
whoa,
shit?
but we're gonna bring back one system that
Oh.
we like long neglected. Our
Oh,
judge said to the lions.
Are we
yeah.
thumbing?
So we're gonna do a to the lions
So up or
thing.
down?
If you guys remember what it is, it's basically like we're in like the
down.
gladiator pantheon and you're just gonna like
Up or down
up
it.
or down. Do we execute it? Do we not execute it this time? Would you watch it or just avoid it like the plague? All right, one, two, three.
1, 2, 3. I don't care either.
I don't care.
Actually, I'll watch it for Takeru.
Okay, so
He's my boy.
for those who aren't watching, it's 3 ups and I'm a neutral.
Yeah, nooch.
Awesome.
I think I just don't. I mean, I didn't watch the anime. I don't care.
Should we
enough.
also do a level of 0 to 5 on anime hair? Because this would be a 0, for example. But
This is
then
the absolute
This is
zero.
a
for
zero.
anime.
This is
and then
zero
the next
anime
one,
hair.
the next one would be like a 7,005.
Okay.
So just
Yes. All right.
I
All
support
right,
that.
moving on. We're gonna go to JoJo's
JoJo!
Bizarre Adventure.
The meatiest
live
of them
action.
all.
Diamond
Yes.
is unbreakable. Live
Let's roll
action
that trailer.
movie.
平和な
Like the
町
music.
森王町
I love this already.
その町で生まれ育った高校生
待てよ今ぶつかっただろ
ああすいませんなんだよその変な頭は
It's like, what's wrong with your head? And then it gets all crazy. I'm just blatantly
I
translating.
love that they did the hair.
彼を取り巻くさまざまな人々
昨日転校してきた広瀬光一
奇妙だが血縁上では君の
Yeah,
決め
JoJo.
られたりしたら私が守ってあげる
Look at this cute bitch.
彼はまだ知らなかった
But he doesn't yet know
この平和な町に
that in this
恐ろしい出来事が近づいていることに
peaceful town, something that he must do is coming.
Oh, okay. I was like,
You really need to
are you
translate.
just narrating this?
Yeah,
or
no, I'm
like-
translating.
Oh, gotcha.
絶対に殺してやる
I will definitely kill who's gonna harm this. Who's gonna
ど
harm
んな
this
ことが
town.
起ころうと
Dude, look at this sick ass anime hair.
そうでしょ
それがお前のスタンドか
スタンドとは生命エネルギー
I
が
don't think I need to translate this part. Yeah.
悪いのはお前
They
だ
said stand.
Over and over.
They just said my stand.
Stand.
マジ化け物だ
奴のスタンドが来る冷静になれジョウスケ
Yeah.
俺は別に冷静ですよ
I don't know what Eisei means, so I can't translate. He's like, I'm not really Eisei. I don't know what Eisei means. Yay!
All right. So that was definitely the bigger one. This is just, it's hard to say that it's like a full trailer or if it's like a teaser. What they're doing is they're milking the stands real hard. Like you have, like JoJo, if you think of JoJo, you think of stands. Like that
Immediately.
and Dio, right? But like they have no stands in this trailer at all, and I have a feeling that either one they haven't fully developed it yet, or number two they're just they're like really trying to like get as much marketing from that as possible.
There's
You
the
know?
stands are just rendering in some back room.
Yeah.
I think it's just, well, definitely that stuff comes last, so that's probably true. But also,
Yeah.
I think it's like to build hype because, like, even if they're almost done, they might still tweak it to make it look like the best it can. Honestly,
I'm really
so-
hoping. See, this is one of those things where it's like that CG is going to make or break
Yeah,
this
if
movie.
the
Yes.
stands look stupid, it'll
100%.
be
Because
bad.
I feel like it's not even so much that like. To be fair, I feel like they could probably do it practical, but there has to be some sort of CG integration.
I would have loved it to be practical. Just a big
just a
ass
dude
man
in
in
a
a
suit.
suit.
Yeah, like they could totally go like the whole like Sentai route, you know, but
Yeah.
but because I don't feel like Japanese CG is quite on like the multi-million-dollar level of Hollywood
Sure.
yet, and so like crappy CG could really
Yeah.
break a movie.
I wonder if they're gonna do tokusatsu. You're right, like how they do Godzilla's basically.
because I feel
but-
like because it's so stylized, they could go somewhere that's kind of
Yeah.
partway practical with some kind of CG.
You know what? Actually, and I don't know why I'm defending Attack on Titan live action, but the thing that they did do well was mixing the CG and the kind of like the live action like suit bits, right? The actual full prosthetic suit. And if they had that, the problem was they had CG monster titans and then they had the suit titans, so then there was a comparison. If they just did that for
Yeah.
this, I think
Right.
it'd be 100%
Yeah.
totally realistic.
Real quick in chat, Laura Marklin.
The hair is
So
amazing.
she says Takashi Miike is literally the perfect director.
Yes.
Yes.
And
That's what
they,
I was gonna
and
bring
they
up.
haven't shown Kira yet either, right? And I don't think
Yes.
they would have because if you haven't watched
Maybe.
the series, it is kind of a reveal to be like, which one is
Was-
Kira?
yeah.
So I think they're not
Yes,
going to show
they're
us in
not
the
gonna show
preview
it.
if they're smart. Because that's kind of a big plot point.
If they haven't already here.
Yeah,
which I don't think
we
they
don't
have.
know.
We
It
don't
could have
know.
been
It
any
could
of
be.
these
But
fun
yeah,
guys.
Takashi Miike is the one
Yay.
that directed. If you don't know what he's done
Then
done
get out.
Versus. He's done. The main one is that he's done one of my Ichi the Killer, and that's what everyone kind of knows him from. But then you realize that Takashi Miike has basically done he does 4 anime movies per year.
Yes,
Per year.
per year.
He's probably anything that you've seen, I'm sure he's directed it, that has come out of Japan. So just some of the characters, Kento Yamazaki, who is Josuke, the one with the very nice hair, was L from Death Note, the movie.
Blah.
And of course Shotaro, who is Yusuke Izaya. Izaya? Yeah, Yusuke Izaya, who was Aoshi
Isaya.
Shinomori.
Isaya.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yusuke Seiya,
Yusuke.
who was like,
God, I hate. Okay.
What?
Yusuke Isaya. Did I say it
Yes.
right?
Close enough,
Okay,
yes.
great.
Hi.
Was Aoshi Shinomori from the live action Kenshin?
yeah, so just sprinkle a little Kenshin in here and you got some gold bits.
Everybody's got a bit of Kenshin in the movie.
Bit of Kenshin. We also briefly saw Koichi, who was Ryonosuke Kamiki, who is also
Sojiro?
Sojiro and Kenshin. He's that babyface boy who they get to play every babyface boy in every movie. He's in everything. So he's
You're
in
right.
that. He's the lead, and March comes in like a lion, the live action movie coming out later this year. That
is not him, actually.
It's not?
Nope.
I totally thought it was him. I'm sorry. Are you sure?
Yep. I
Google
checked.
that.
I double checked.
Okay, never mind.
I did double
JK.
check. Yes.
And also, he is the main voice actor for in the awesome anime movie Your Name for Ataki, which I didn't realize.
Oh, really?
I knew
Yeah,
that.
he is.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He's a talented son of a bitch.
Yeah,
He's
he is.
Talented
Yes.
little baby-faced son of a bitch.
Yeah, and he will basically have work forever because he is so baby-faced.
Baby-face.
Yeah, even when he's 40, he'll probably look exactly the same.
Someone saying Okuyasu looks, QWERTY ASDF, a very nice username. Okuyasu looks weird in this, though. He's played by Makinyu. Oh, what a cute baby. So I Googled Makinyu, and he's actually going to be in Pacific Rim Uprising that's coming
really?
out.
Interesting.
Yes.
Cool.
He was born in Little Tokyo in Los Angeles. His father is Japanese, and he does like stunt work and stuff. So I haven't seen him in anything else, but he's like an up-and-coming Japanese actor.
And if you've seen the new
great.
stuff for Pacific Rim, Gypsy Adventure looks amazing.
Gypsy this, Gypsy that.
Gypsy Danger.
God. Got a hater here throwing shade.
Yeah, and then I would just, I think. So that's, what else, what casting you were saying?
No, not casting wise, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone saw how amazing this was in terms of costume. Like
Yes.
the costumes are amazing.
Costumes
Yeah.
are amazing.
If you look at all their promotional stuff, the look of every character is on point.
How did they do JoJo's hair? Did you know how his hair flows into his cat
Yeah.
in the drawing? But I think it looked like it was like a half cap.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
JoJo's white hat.
A lot of cosplayers will basically just integrate like wig hair into the cap, like just glue it on top of that so it looks like it's blending.
I've always felt like it was one of those like kind of like open brim hats, right? So it's just no back, but it's kind of like a visor that you like clip
think
onto the side of your
That's
face.
the joke. Like, is it a hat or is it his hair?
no
Like,
one
you don't
knows.
know.
No one knows.
I feel like now that he's got his white outfit, it worked. It's harder because
Yeah.
when he was wearing purple, it was easy to integrate purple to
Yeah.
like blue and
Yeah,
black,
yeah,
and now
yeah.
it's like white to black.
Yeah, when I was watching the
really
trailer, I
stark,
was
yeah.
like hella staring, like, where is the divide between the hair and the hat?
But I feel like as the Japanese movie industry is growing, they're starting to kind of catch on to like, oh, these little small details matter.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Speaking of a small detail, literally, Laura Marklin says, I really hope they do the Ghost Dad photograph. They're so good. Is it you, Dad? I'm in a photograph. I'm helping you, son. If you haven't watched the series, there's a character who is a villain who lives in a photograph.
He
and,
literally exists only in photographs.
and he's a son of a bitch.
I feel like that was the old dude though, right? That must be the old dude that you see in the trailer.
There's a lot of old dudes. That could be his. That could be
There's like
his
so many
dad.
characters in that trailer.
Did they show
That's true.
JoJo's
No, they
Grandpa.
don't Joestar.
No
They don't
Joestar?
show- No Joestar.
No.
You know,
Is
the
he in the
one
movie?
thing though is I wish they did some sort of pose. Yeah, he's in the show. I don't know if he's in the movie. They might avoid him. They might just focus on
Yeah,
having
there's a lot of
Jotaro instead.
characters. They might even get rid of Ghost Dad or Photograph Dad.
Yeah,
Photograph
I'm
Ghost
pretty
Dad.
sure they're gonna get rid
But
of
will they
Photograph
have
Dad
Alien
100%.
Guy? That's all I care about.
No, they won't have
probably
Alien
won't.
Guy.
He
Probably
was such
will
a
not.
side character.
Is
He
it
was
Mitaka?
really.
I
That's
think
his name?
I can't remember.
I'm
Lauren,
sure
answer.
Lauren will
I know
tell
you
us.
know.
I'll check chat. Yeah.
So yeah.
Also about this movie, as I call it, the movie with the good hair. This place, as you know, Moriocho is kind of like its own character in the show, the town that the story is set in, and they filmed this in I don't know if I'm saying it right. Stiges,
Spain?
Stiges.
I have no idea.
Who speaks Spanish? Not me. So just south of Barcelona, and they just put but to make it like a mixture of cultures, they put like Japanese street signs in in the
Oh.
European buildings and stuff. Which I thought was really cool.
That's
Like,
pretty cool.
That's why when you look at the trailer, it's like, wow, this looks really epic. Are they in fucking Europe? Yeah, they're in fucking Europe.
Dude, they had a fucking budget for this movie.
Yeah,
yeah.
They
I mean,
did.
yeah, it's a very, very popular title. I mean, it has been for a zillion years.
I mean, I'm glad. I think they're making this movie during the 30th anniversary of JoJo,
Oh.
something like that.
Miki
Right, 87, right?
Right?
Ah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it's the 30th anniversary, and so that's why they're doing like this really huge push. I really wish they had more poses.
They didn't do any of the
They-
boop-boops
yeah,
or
they
anything.
didn't
Yeah.
do any of
Maybe
That is a signature part of JoJo, and they're taking it out
maybe
of the
there'll
trailer.
be one trailer that's just posted.
Yeah, I feel like it's still early yet. Like, you know how like people they release teasers and then, like trailers to give more information as they get
Yeah.
closer. I mean, it's in August, so they've got a couple of
It's
months.
coming out August.
Right,
27th.
August 4th, 2017. That's when it's coming out,
Alright.
Yeah.
and that's crazy soon.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be pretty awesome.
Lauren Marklin says the alien's name is Mikitaka.
Miki Taka.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, so hopefully everyone enjoyed that. To the Lions.
Oh, we just.
I'm
Okay.
watching
We're not
hell.
counting to 3.
I'm a hell.
Yeah,
There's
thumbs
four
up.
thumbs up.
Four thumbs
up. We're going to watch the hell out of this, and
Yes.
once it does come out,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we'll talk about it.
Yes.
All right, so moving on to Gintama.
Gintama desu.
Yes. Roll that trailer.
Roll.
その男は侍というにはあまりにも荒々しくチンピラというにはあまりにまっすぐな目をした男だった
He's a guy. He's a samurai. He looks
笑って泣いて
straightforward.
熱くなる天下無敵の痛快アクションエンターテインメント
But entertainments.
来るよ
Someone's gonna come over, right?
しかとその目ん玉に焼き付けな銀玉
So in the last bit right there, they just it's like a blooper where someone gets slapped in the butt with a sword and goes, "Aha, that pain! I'm kind of interested in it."
So Gintama, for
Gintama.
people who don't know what Gintama is, I believe we didn't go over JoJo. There's no way I could summarize JoJo, so just watch it. But Gintama is basically about during I guess it's before the Meiji era, when the Shinsengumi or still Tokugawa era. Instead of them moving on into the Meiji era, aliens come over and integrate with Japan. Basically, that's the story. And Gintama is such a long-running series, definitely up there with. It's probably more longer-running than Naruto, right? I think it was before Naruto. Gintama?
I think it came after, actually.
It
But
came
it's
after?
still it's in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's still ongoing.
It's ongoing
Considered one of the
still.
big titles that
Yeah.
helped bring anime and manga to America. So of that era, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a mixture of comedy and action, of course, like a bunch of Shonen Jump series. But I feel like they emphasize the comedy bits when they emphasize comedy bits, and there's like these really great action parts. So the question is, how are they going to pull this off? What do you think?
Yeah, you're a big Gintama fan, right, Greg?
Yeah, it's hard to say because it is such a eclectic manga. Because it almost most of the time looks like a period drama, and then weird things pop into it.
There's a
It's like-
spaceship.
right?
yeah.
It totally throws you off, and so it's hard to tell from the trailer if they're going to play it straight like that, where it's basically an 1800s world, but then there's sci-fi elements in it.
Yeah.
It almost looks like there's might even some contemporary elements in it, which would make sense because it's cheaper to film that way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say, but you can definitely see that they're going for that balance between the drama and the humor.
Yeah.
So it looks like the vibe is right. I think, I think the costume design looks pretty good, and it's pretty
Yeah.
faithful
It
to
does.
the manga.
That
especially-
silver hair, man.
Right, the hair is so hard to pull off, but I think he looks pretty good.
But the hair
actually.
looks great.
Because they
yeah.
made it white and silver. They didn't just make it like
Yeah.
stark white.
white, yeah.
We're gonna get to a trailer later where I do not approve of the color.
Oh, my.
But this one I thought was pretty good.
Real quick though, in chat, Kane Tyler asked, "Are live-action shonen movies ever good?" The answer is yes.
Yes.
Watch Rurouni Kenshin.
Rurouni Kenshin
Technically,
is
that's
the
a
pinnacle.
shonen,
Yeah.
a shoujo
Yeah.
mix.
Technically shonen.
It's
And
a
also-
romantic shonen.
Gantz isn't bad, and if you've ever watched Battle Royale, Battle
Yeah.
Royale is
that
based off
counts.
a manga. So,
That
you know,
counts.
there are a lot of really good examples of how you can get these movies done right. And the problem is, unfortunately, is the ones that are the most successful are the most grounded concepts.
Yes.
Like, that's just what's going to happen, you know?
And I think the ones that are good usually are pretty faithful to its actual original content.
As well.
The
yeah.
really shitty ones are like, hey, let's just take the title and throw some shit in here.
Yeah.
Throw some shit in here.
Okay, I would say one good example, or one not bad example, one example would be when Takeshi Miike made the Phoenix Wright movie. And that was totally different, but
was
I
just-
really liked it.
I liked it because I think I was such a fan of the series, but
Yeah.
it was kind of boring. It dragged a lot. It was weird.
It was weird, and it kind of had like this weird like grim dark feel about it. But like the thing is, they did the costumes right and they did the hair right, and you know I feel like that is at least 50% of the battle.
Yes.
for sure.
It is definitely
Yeah.
50% of the battle.
Yeah.
But there's I mean, Tanashi's Movie Corner says like he's never excited for action movies action anime anymore because it usually tends to be pretty bad. But that's not true across the board. It's been getting slowly better. There's some really good stuff out there, which we just mentioned, but like there's a lot of bad
Yeah,
stuff.
there's
out
There's
there.
a
like
lot
any
of bad
like
stuff.
any like film industry. There's a lot of bad, and then
Yeah.
the good ones are the really standout
Yeah.
ones.
Don't watch any of the bad
Like
ones.
last year was like this year of just every live action movie was basically terrible. They had Terraformers. I think. Well, was Attack on Titan last year? Or it was 2 years ago. I can't remember.
Like 2 years.
It was 2
2
years
years of
ago.
hell, huh?
And I just remember like there was just like no good.
Yeah, remember our
live
favorite
action
wolf
movies.
girl and the Black Prince?
Oh God! Don't even bring that shit up. That was traumatic for me watching that. Anyway, but this year I feel like there's going to be a lot more potential because I mean all of these are pretty stand up, and I feel like they are refining it into basically a science at this point.
And in this movie, we actually have Shun Oguri, who is everyone's favorite
Yes.
dude to be in movies. He's in every goddamn movie. And
I love
him.
Shunoguri. I've loved him since God. What was the first thing he was in? Crows.
Crows,
Zero?
I think he's in Crow
He
Zero.
has an appearance
Yeah.
in Densha Otoko actually, like way back.
Yeah.
Like as like a little baby child. But yeah, so they're pulling these like really big names. So Shun was in. I have a bunch listed. He was Lupin most recently. Nobunaga, Concerto, Tokyo Dogs, Hanazakari no Kimitachi, and Sano. Remember?
Yep.
And he was in GTO too. Remember when GTO was like
Yeah,
the
but
newest,
he wasn't
coolest
Onizuka,
thing?
right?
Huh? No, he
But
wasn't. He was one of
he
the
wasn't
students.
Onizuka.
No.
He's also in everybody's favorite Hana Yoridango
Oh.
as Hanazawa Yorui.
Oh, nice.
I just really remember him for Crows and Crow Zero because it was just like some garbage that didn't make any sense.
He's in
but-
everything, and I love Shunoguri.
Yeah, but I still liked it. I was like, whatever, Shun's in it.
All right, Gintama. I think we talked enough about it.
Yeah, Gintama.
What do you think?
1, 2, 3. We're all neutral.
We all have a neutral. This is one of those series where it's like I feel like it has the potential to be good, but you have to be a fan of Gintama number 1 or number 2. It has to be very good and not bad. I mean that's a dumb
What?
statement.
It has to not be bad.
But like in the sense of like the aliens have to be good, the CG has to be good. A lot of things have to be good for this to be pulled off, and it
Yeah.
has to be
For it to work.
funny
Yeah.
first and foremost. And
feel
if
like-
it's not-
Foremost.
I feel like I am 80% will probably watch this movie just for Shunoguri if
Yeah.
I'm bored and have nothing else to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah. And on a scale of crazy hair, it's like a 2. 'Cause it's only like
Yeah.
1 or 2 characters.
Costumes are
with
good
hair.
though.
Yeah, costumes.
Yeah.
are good. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Tokyo Ghoul.
Tokyo
Tokyo
Ghoul. Live action.
グール見たことあるグール
Let people enjoy it.
This is the English subtitle one.
I think this is just dramatic music and
人間と
posing.
グール2つの世界に居場所を持てるただ一人の存在なんだよ
I didn't know it's martial artsy.
東京グール
Oh yeah, Tokyo Ghoul is an
Very,
action
very
series.
short. Oh, hold on. What the hell is that? I'm not familiar with Tokyo Ghoul because I'm a piece of shit, but I googled it a little bit. Tell me more.
Okay, Tokyo Ghoul is a series about ghouls that eat humans, or the main apex predator, against human
Zombers?
society, trying to hide within human society. And the I guess there's like an investigators squad which are always trying to hunt them down because once again they're a threat to humanity. And then Kaneki, who ends up becoming a half ghoul, half human, and it's him trying to like navigate his life between being a human and between being a ghoul and like kind of dissecting why they're even fighting in the first place. And there's a lot of questions, and that's a whole like plot hole thing that I would have to discuss and go through. I could do like 2 episodes on it. But we're just gonna talk about
The
the live
trailer?
action trailer.
Okay.
So what'd you guys think? I have opinions, but go on.
You know, this is one of everything we checked out. This was kind of the hardest for me to get an impression by. Maybe it's because there's just not a lot of content in the trailer, and not a lot that really telegraphs if it really fits the look of the manga. You know, I
Yes.
think it was like the least I think inspiring. That last shot is a little bit of a money shot, and it kind of shows you, but I'm just still not sure.
Yeah.
What was the mask about? Was it?
The mask is a part. So
Ghoul
because
mask?
because they look exactly like humans, the only thing is that their eyes turn red. They have the kanuki, which is the little I guess they're like organs. That's
Okay.
their claws and their teeth, and so they
Yeah.
kind of morph and form into other things. But it's basically made of flesh.
Ah.
So
The old flesh mask.
yes,
That kind of
but
shows-
his mask is not made of flesh because they look
okay.
like humans. They have to
Oh.
hide within human society, so they all have masks to hide their face, which is super dumb because they all have the
feel-
same haircut.
Yeah, I feel like like I have to agree with Greg. Like I feel like for a movie that's out like in June, and
Yeah.
that's the trailer. It says almost nothing about that film.
Yeah.
It makes me very worried for this film.
Yeah, it's so just some quick facts. Kentaro Hagiwara is the director. Don't know what he's done. I think it's sort of a no name. And then Masataka Kubota,
Good,
who
good.
you
Yep.
thought was in Kenshin and Sojiro, is actually the dude that gets killed by Kenshin.
Oh,
The husband,
the husband,
the
of
husband
the girl.
Tomoe, I believe.
Oh shit.
So that's who he is, and so
It's like 6 degrees of Kenshin.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
There's a Kenshin in this.
I
Everyone's
mean,
in that
Kenshin
fucking
is the
movie.
biggest one. It
It's the
makes
best
sense,
one.
and it's sort of like
Yeah.
scattered around. But I just thought it was a really funny factoid because it's like he's kind of not in anything else. He's in like the usual dramas.
And he's the
Except
main
that he
character?
gets killed by Kenshin.
but he's the guy that gets killed in
Yeah.
Kenshin, so technically he's kind of an important
Is
character.
he the Tokyo Ghoul in Tokyo Ghoul?
He is. He is Kaneki
The most
in
Tokyo Ghoul of them all.
Kaneki Ken, the
Ken
Tokyo
Kaneki,
Ghoul.
The Tokyo Ghoul. So
they only live in Tokyo.
I think, as a fan of the series, and I've actually been reading it till now, and it gets really insane. There's a time skip. There's a whole like disorganizing thing. Like he becomes like one of the investigators, and then he becomes a ghoul again, and then he's like, it's crazy. It gets really convoluted and really crazy.
Oh yeah, he like gets amnesia at some point.
And super dark, yes.
Yeah.
He does.
Of course
That's
he
the time
does.
skip.
I was reading
From the time
Wikipedia.
skip.
That sounds like something I would not want to care about.
But for just this first part, which very much is going to cover the first series, I
Mm-hmm.
think Jason's in it, which is one of the main antagonists, and basically turns him into like what he is now.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like it's super accurate. Even the mask
Yeah.
isn't very accurate, you know. And when I see something that's like they try to do their own skew, then you get Black Butler, the live
Yeah,
action
see,
movie.
because it's one of those things where, like, I feel like a lot of times when you see live-action anime movies and they suck, it's because some director was given this movie and he's like, "Oh, this is my big break, so I'm gonna take this well-known property and do whatever the fuck I want with it."
Yeah.
And that's always where it fails.
Yeah, but I mean, for the scenes of the weapons themselves, the Kagune, like that looks pretty good for the most part. But to be fair, all you really had to do was make like a weird undulating slime thing with like red in it.
Right.
So if you mess that up, it's kind of like you wouldn't know what you're doing. Like that would be a very bad indicator. So far, I don't know. The characters aren't super interesting either, though.
This trailer was just like loud music, and then it closes someone's face, and loud music, and then closes someone else's face,
Yeah.
and then a mask. And I'm like, that's.
And then it was like June 29th.
It was
Yeah.
like it's coming out real soon. Whoops.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's coming out in basically 2 months.
Basically now.
And that's their trailer. That's why I'm like, oh, no.
We'll see. I'm hoping it's not bad because that's one of those premises that is grounded enough to where you can make a pretty good thing. I mean, maybe a little bit above Ajin. Ajin is just sort of that perfect mix of
You guys
just
have
like,
a lot of hopes and dreams in this movie.
Yes, I do. I have a lot of hopes and dreams. I want these to be really good.
Yeah.
I know most of them are going to be crap. But
To the Lions?
to the Lions.
Dude, to what? I'm not gonna watch this shit.
Okay. So we have one thumb up, we have one thumb down, and then
And
we
two
have two
neutrals.
neutrals.
Two nooches.
I want to see it because I'm a fan of the series, and I have, and I don't know where this optimism comes from. Clearly, I shouldn't have any. But
I don't want to
I'm
see it
open.
because I have no optimism and I don't care about things I don't care about.
there you go.
Boom, boom.
All right.
Next.
On to the next. Blade of the Immortal.
Blade of the Immortal.
Look, classic. Not the Samuel L. Jackson.
興味ある
Oh yeah.
ミン俺は誰を切りゃいい
私のことを切ろうとする人
それでいいんだおめえに手を挙げるやつ叩き切るだけだ
We were watching.
Yeah.
This dude almost beat some ass.
Basically, there's
Shit, that's
actually
coming out soon too.
there's an actual 2-minute trailer. The unfortunate part about that is from Japan, and there's music on it, and Sony will never let you have music. So basically,
So you
they
can't see
muted
it.
all of the audio, but you would have seen like basically a lot of iconic characters that most of their costumes are dead on.
Except for the Manji.
Manji is skewedly different
The Manji is purposely,
Yeah.
understandably different because it looks
there was
a lot...
swastika.
Yes.
Which is, if you know the history of swastika, it's a Buddhist concept, and it's a symbol of peace, or it's a symbol of, I think, what is it?
I think it's like eternal.
Eternal,
unity.
yeah, it's like
And isn't it
continuity.
it's flipped as well. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the right-
it's flipped. And so, what
the original
Nazis
was not
did
flipped, but then
is
okay.
basically they sort of turned it into
They co-opted
what
it,
Nazis
yeah.
think. So, yeah, his name is Manji, which is basically
Why
what
he would
that's
have the
called.
Manji is.
Yeah, which is a swastika. So This is directed by Takashi Miike.
Busy year.
So he did this while he was doing JoJo.
Yeah,
in the middle of his
I feel
20
like that's two really solid like properties.
Yeah.
But there's a running thing between his movies, is that they have the best costumes.
Yes.
They look the most accurate. He's the one that puts that much detail into the look. The problem with Takashi Miike movies is sometimes the actual plot is crap, and the directing is a little off. That's usually his biggest problem. Or sometimes he'll just take the look, but then make a totally outlandish story. So hopefully that's not the case here. Obviously, it's hard to adapt these series because these are series. They're not one-off movies. They're not like one like light novel. It's like if you're trying to adapt Game of Thrones and turn that into a movie.
Yeah,
There's that longevity.
all 6-7 seasons into 1 2-hour movie.
Yeah, and that's hard, and it's a very hard feat to like balance. Like, where do you end? You want all these characters in it.
Right.
For Blade of the Immortal, I think it might be a problem of there are too many characters because I saw a lot of characters already, and they're all main players, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little bit later into the series, and I think the Blade of the Immortal has, I think it like ran for like 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
For a really long time.
For a very, very long time.
It's one of those old school dudes manga.
And some of the characters that appear are like in the middle of the series, and they're trying to introduce Manji and Rin together. I'm not 100% sure, but like from what I've seen so far, I'm still going to watch it just because the look is so spot on.
Yeah, it has a really cool look.
Yeah.
Sort of really dark and rich, and I wonder too, since this is more or less a period film too, if that will lend to sort of the authenticity of it. You were talking about how the more far out something is, the harder it is to make it look right. This is basically a samurai drama. So
Yeah, it looks like a historical film, much like Kenshin was turned into.
Yeah.
I feel like the strong ones are always like, if they can get the look correctly, and if it's modern day, it's modern day Japan, or if it's feudal Japan, those tend to do better.
Oh, but in the credit of Blade of the Immortal is that their powers and the things that kind of happen are very grounded. The only thing that I didn't like about this is that the main antagonist does not look very spot on, because he's supposed to be like this charismatic leader, but he kind of just looks like a little shrimp man. He looks like a little shrimp.
Man.
He's kind of a little shrimpy, and I was like, if you're going to be a master of the martial arts and stuff, like I understand it's not about like physique, but like try a little bit.
All right, Blade of the Immortal. So who's gonna line this one?
All right, Lions.
Lions. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm like in between caring and not.
So we have
Okay.
three thumbs up and one that is teetering.
Yeah, I'm telling you just got to get
I
that
am
look down,
teetering.
and at the very least, we'll be interested.
Yes.
All right. So moving on to Fullmetal Alchemist, our last big one.
Big one.
Yes.
Let's go.
Bloop. Roll it. Bloop.
Get ready to be transported to, I guess, Spain. I'm not sure where they filmed this.
It's something like that.
Oh, is there no audio? Oh, there it goes.
じゃあ決まりだ
Oh, look at
Don't
that
do
wig.
So sad.
Yeah. They show his sucking his brother into some armor.
Yeah, this is them trying to
Summon their
summon their
mom.
mother.
And they're showing his cool arm and then his terrible hair.
Yeah.
I wear white gloves and have bad hair.
That is pretty loud.
Oh, that's some CG. Why are his gloves so white if he's like moving around dirt?
Because he can just alchemy them into new gloves.
So he fell down a second ago.
Look, he's seen the gate of truth. He knows everything about alchemy.
Did
Right?
I ruin it?
The least he can do is keep his gloves clean. All right. He has the power of alchemy.
All right, Fullmetal Alchemist.
Fullmetal Alchemist. So the director is Fumihiko Sori, who has done Appleseed, Ichi, which is not what you're thinking. Not Ichi the killer.
Not the killer.
Not the killer. And Ping Pong and Vexile, if anyone has seen Vexile. That's a CG movie.
But Ping Pong is
Basically,
quite good.
Yeah, Ping Pong is good, and Appleseed is good. But he was a producer for that.
Okay.
And the Ryosuke Tamada, who is Edward Elric, is from Assassination Classroom. which is I don't know if anyone has seen it, but it's good. It's interesting. If you like Assassination Calendar, anyway.
Wait, when's this coming out? Because the end here is wrong. I think.
Is December 1st, 2017.
20. Oh, sorry. I'm like, isn't that already passed?
No,
I don't know.
it is 2017.
Yes.
Shit, I'm dumb. So we still have a whole season to get of stuff to get through to get to
Yes.
this movie. Did you guys think it looked good?
I'm not so sure yet. I think like Alphonse looks awesome.
Alphonse is awesome.
Looks accurate.
Yeah, accurate, and I think a big sort of anything that's sort of surreal is easier to make look realistic than blonde yellow hair, for example.
Okay, I'll give you that second right.
I mean, look, the whole thing is though, at least they have a good wig for the most. Not the best wig. It's not the best
No,
wig.
I think
I'm
what
not
you're saying is at least they have a wig.
At least they have a wig, and at least it is the color of blonde, and not like just a Japanese person with black hair and his name not being Edward and his name being like
What's his name?
Junpei or something.
Yeah, Light Turner
Yeah.
from Death Note. So, real quick about wigs. Y'all can get, first of all, as you may mentioned, you can get a lace front. It's not that hard. It make it look way more natural if you can see the seam where your fucking skin next to your hair.
Yeah.
2, why when he was a child did he have a better wig than when he was an adult? When he was a child, he had it was like a black and blonde kind of mixed wig, so it had like more
I
tone
don't know
to
if
it.
that was a wig.
And then
that might have been the kid's hair.
No, it's definitely a wig.
Oh my God, Max,
I
get
don't
out of
know.
here! And then as an adult, he had a hair color that was all one tone of yellow.
Yes.
It wasn't even like different kind of colors. Whereas in Gintama, that bitch's hair was white in the anime, but then they made it like toned with silver and gray. Like real hair is toned colors. So.
So my biggest problem with the wig is like costume designer, get yourself a lace front, and 2, it like seriously, why do they always choose that like really weird orangey bleach as if you didn't put toner in it? Like that color of bleach blonde does not actually exist in Caucasian people.
Because it's a fantasy.
Yeah, like it's terrible. It's get yourself a beige blonde. Like come on,
we're just sad. Anyway, let's move on. But it looks exciting though.
All right, so what are the main points about the series besides the wig?
The CG didn't look like shit. It looked good.
CG looks
pretty
fine.
decent.
Alphonse looks awesome.
Yes.
I've seen
So far. I
in
wanna
one of
see
the
him moving.
trailers. There's other teaser trailers out there. Alphonse moves and is animated pretty well. I have to say, the look is spot on, and I believe this is a Warner Brothers movie.
It's Warner Brothers Japan. So Warner Brothers Japan has been dumping a bunch of money into Japanese movie productions.
Yeah.
Kenshin was one of them. So is Bleach.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So is
right.
FMA.
So this
Ooh,
has.
Bleach. I forgot about Bleach.
Bleach,
Ooh,
the
that's
live
gonna be
action, that's
interesting.
coming.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like,
2018, I'm pretty sure. Right there with
Yeah.
Battle Angel Alita.
Yeah, so we're trying to
that's
cover
gonna
movies
be
that are coming out this
interesting.
year, guys. So I see some questions about movies coming out
Yeah,
next
yeah.
year, but just hold the phone on that.
Yeah.
Have they released photos yet of any of the military guys, like Mustang or like Hughes
No,
or anything
they
like
have
that?
not.
I'm
They
really
have
curious how those uniforms are going to shake out in live action.
I feel like, I mean, like, for the most part, it seems all the costumes have been pretty spot on. That's probably one of the easiest costumes to replicate, to be perfectly honest.
Especially because so many of them were the same one.
Right.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
believe in this. So were you talking about this on the show? I can't remember. That this movie had some controversy because it has a lot of like kind of Caucasian names and characters being portrayed by Japanese people, which is the opposite problem we have in America.
Which, you know, the whole thing about that is that it's a Japanese property and it is being done by Japanese people and it is written for the Japanese.
Right.
So if they want to have a Caucasian character played by a Japanese person for the Japanese audience, I feel like that is not the same situation that we find here in America.
Right, because we're not homogenous society.
Exactly.
Just bring it up because I think it's just
I think it's a valid discussion point.
It is, and to a certain extent, I'm sure if there were, sometimes they do use sort of like, you know, like half people, or they use, you know, foreign.
I think in this movie they did
Foreigners,
cast
I guess, like white-
like one or two like half people. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sure like there is scattered about. I think the difference is like they actually stuck with it. And once again, the Attack on Titan trailer, what they did was they kind of messed it all up by creating new characters to be Asian. You know, and that's, I mean, but obviously that had its own problems. And that was the
One of
least,
many.
that was the least of the problems of that movie in general.
Yeah.
But Fullmetal Alchemist, I think, like even just seeing that beginnings part of them trying to like bring back their mom,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
man, that
It's pretty
looked
good.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
That was some like Harry Potter level.
Yeah,
of stuff.
it
I
did
feel like-
remind me of that.
Yeah, like I feel like even the acting from the children was pretty decent.
Yeah, I
for
thought
that.
so too. Yeah.
Sweet little babies.
And the difference is, it's like for the ones that have lower budgets, you can tell from the way that the cinematography is shot. And in this one, you can tell that they put a lot of money
into it.
You know, they have like those running shots. I mean, you said that CG isn't really Japan's strong suit, but with enough money behind it, WB behind it, I'm hoping that they're able to kind of like make a blockbuster anime movie, which is kind of everyone's hope, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It feels like there's an evolution going on here, and I feel like the first really successful anime adaptation was Rurouni Kenshin. I feel like that's the first one where everybody agreed that
totally agree,
this thing worked. I think they came pretty close with the live-action space battleship Yamato, which came before that. Kind of a near miss. It's not the best movie, but it's okay. But I think the proof of concept now is Rurouni Kenshin. It's saying, you know what, we can actually do this if we put enough
And then
money
make
into
3
it.
of the motherfuckers, and they're all going to make more money than the last.
And the thing is, the difference between Rurouni Kenshin and this movie is that Rurouni Kenshin was a blockbuster success for Japan and people that really know it. Fullmetal Alchemist is probably even bigger than that. Like, even in America, it's bigger than that. It's a pretty recognized name, and it's kind of like, it's not about feudal Japan. It's about this sort of like this fantasy European society. Like, if that doesn't break into the culture of America, like in general, like, because we have a ton of fantasy movies like that.
I feel like what they're trying to do, like with Warner Brothers Japan pumping all the money into it, is just because, like, not only in America are they trying to kind of get their movies seen here and get that like the money from U.S. dollars, but anime in general is very big in Latin America and in France, and so if they can make good movies and import them all around the world, that's more money going into those films.
And this is a thing where it's like you don't have to know anything about a culture to really enjoy it. You know, in Rurouni Kenshin, you kind of have to know kind of like the samurai culture and what it was about, and then, you know, even though it becomes kind of a mute point towards the end of the movies.
Because of Senor Bandages,
Senor Bandages and all the other characters, and then it really becomes sort of the fantasy. Like, at least this is sort of the I want it to be kind of like the Harry Potter of anime. You know, where it's very accessible to everyone.
Yes.
I think we all agree we're excited for Full Metal.
All right.
Should we even lines this one?
Lines it. 1, 2, 3. Boo! All thumbs
Hell
up.
yeah, we're gonna watch
thumbs
it.
up.
And of course, don't disappoint us.
Yes.
God
Because
damn it.
we can't deal with
We'll
more
come
heartbreak.
find you and
we
we will
can't
kill you.
do it. All right, so real quickly, just some upcoming live action ones for 2017. We're just gonna go through them real quick. March Comes In Like a Lion, which is the shogi anime.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
And then
And then Saki, 1 Week Friends, Today's Kira-kun, Sakurada Reset, Real Life, which ended up being super popular. Peach Girl, which is a shoujo, and then Death Note American God No.
Yes. Oh God.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a mess. I'm so sad. But yeah, that's it for this week. What are we doing next week?
next week we are doing Asian reality shows. We're talking about the best ones that you guys probably never heard about, but you really should be watching. Terrace House, Running Man, Papa, Where Did You Go? It's all over the place, guys. This is so fun next week.
Oh, Running Man is an excellent series.
Get ready to get
these are all really good.
Get ready to get
Terrace House
educated.
is the best.
Terrace House. You guys can watch on Netflix this week if you want, and then we can talk about next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jump on chat next Tuesday.
Where can they find you, Greg?
You can find me at tuneintokyo.com.
Awesome.
And you can find me everywhere on the internet and Twitch, Instagram, Facebook at Yume Warlock.
Same Z's. You can find me that thing.
Really?
Those thing too. At I Am Chubby Bunny.
And you can find me at Max Saltz on the everything. And please keep up. If you have any comment suggestions, hit us up.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
Bye. Do 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 do.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.